Hello and welcome back, friends. If you're new around here, I'm Big Gator. If you came looking for the sharpest tennis bets, you're right where you belong. We're covering Kitzbuhel on the clay, Umag on the clay, and Washington, D.C. on the hard courts. And I happened to go down to D.C. Proof that I went down there, and we'll get into that in a minute. But we're going to be going into the first round and the second round still because it's a long draw for all of these matches. So make sure you pop into the comments and let me know what you're playing because I would love to know. Please let me know what you're playing. And check out the pinned comment from me below so you can see what I'll be playing so you can tail it if you would like to. If you do enjoy these videos or the way I break these matches down, please give this video a like. It helps me a ton. If you would like to get these picks as soon as they get uploaded, because I've noticed that when I upload my videos, the market starts to fluctuate a bit, subscribe. The second I upload, you can get the pinned comment as soon as it goes up, okay? So, and if you were feeling generous for any wins that you have been getting, you can put it into the donation link that is in the pinned comment as well. And yeah, so without further ado, how are we looking, friends? How are we looking today? I'm not too mad, honestly. We had so far one pending ticket. We got Kovacevic going against Clinton Alice tomorrow, but we had Ethan Quinn today, and he did the deed for us. I wanted to go to the match. I tried to make it, and then he ended up beating the guy in straight sets before I could get there. It is what it is. We took Giovanni and Pecci Pericard. I got to go watch him serve live. That was a great experience. It's as fast as it looks, but faster in person. He lost the match in 3 sets, so it was certified smoke. I didn't expect. It was first round. I was just giving something to get. I was excited. Sorry. Okay. Now that I'm back home for a few days and I've gotten my intel, I can tell you guys what I've learned and what I picked up on while I was there on the grounds. But, yeah. So, before we get into the other matches, let me just tell you guys a bit about my day. It was a sick day. I got there around like noonish, so I missed Ethan Quinn, as I said before. Got in, and there was... Who was playing when I came in? Zizou Bergs and Dan Evans had just started. And when I popped on to the scene, dude, it was hot as shit. DC is hot as shit. If you're not from around these parts, you might not be used to it. Even if you are probably from over there, you're probably not used to it. It's hot over there. So, good conditions for tennis, for good serving, but also it's a bit unbearable with the humidity. So, something I was seeing was a lot of people struggling in that pure sunlight. I hadn't been in that pure sunlight in a minute. So that was something that was just weighing on me. I was like, God damn, these guys are standing out here for hours just in the heat. Like, so the mental of some of these guys are already looking pretty strong. I caught a bit of the Matajan and Bonzi match. He ended up doing him dirty in that second set. That was over in like I think 45 minutes. Time passes way faster when you're on the grounds too, right? You can be sitting there watching one person's match, and some people are having slower matches than others. I'll tell you that Bergs and Evans match was 2.5 hours. So getting there at 12, and then people are starting their matches at 2:30. That scheduled to start at 2:30 are still coming on the court or can't play yet because these guys are still playing on their court. Like it being there, it made a lot more sense of like how people were adjusting to it. I saw Rublev practicing with Fritz. That was cool. I got a picture with Rublev. We caught Lerner Tien in his match against Nava. If you guys have got tennis TV, you probably hear me screaming his name a lot. So that was me there. I didn't bet on him, but he won in straight sets. I said 2-1, but he ended up smoking Nava, and Nava was not ready for the left-handed menace. It was great to watch. I was stoked. So even though like didn't really have what we wanted out of the results fully today, because we got a win and we have a loss. we're waiting the next win, and that's going to be that. But I did say some things in the last video, and some people are just not doing well in the heat, and I understand. So I just want to share that with you guys. Thank you again for helping me with just riding with me on these bets, because this is what's got me here. So if you want to also go to tennis opens, literally I am the living proof that if you just bet on the things I'm putting in these pinned comments, you will end up there. So the proof is in the pudding. I hope this was helpful. With that being said, we can actually now get into tennis, and we have a fuck ton of matches. So let's do this a bit systematically. It's late. I do have to work tomorrow as well, so I'm going to try my best here to be as on point as possible for you good folks. All right, so starting with Kitzbuhel, we're going to jump right in with Botic van de Zandschulp and Nicholas Jarry. Now, these are going to be all first-round matches, okay? These guys have yet to play each other so far. Nicholas Jarry's been in a bit of a suckier form over the season, but Botic's been kind of dropping as well. He's won a few. He's gotten to the quarterfinals in his last challenger, but he, at an ATP level, he got a set off Carabelli, which isn't bad. But we have Nicholas Jarry, who hasn't stepped on the clay since May. So it's been a good 2 months since he's touched the clay. Gosh. I think that, you know how I feel about that, guys. I don't like it. If they haven't touched the clay yet, leave it alone. Or the person who's supposed to be, and Nicholas Jarry is slated to win. I would take Botic to win a set. Botic to win a set is plus 1.5. That's the only thing they have on the slate for these guys. Is the set spread on FanDuel. Check other places real quick. But yeah, I like the Botic getting a set just because he's been playing on the clay. He's 3-2 since coming back from Wimbledon. Granted, the 2 wins were in challengers, and one of the losses were 2. So do with that as you must. Let's move on. Next, we have Yannick Hanfmann going against, let's see, who is this? Lucas Neumayer. This is their first head-to-head as well. Probably going to see a few of these. Hanfmann is 10-11 on the clay courts. He's 33 years old, ranked 141. Then we have Lucas Neumayer. He's 22 years old, ranked 162. He's 27-14 so far. Looks like he's been playing at a challenger level. Made it to the qualification round and Roland Garros, but lost in the second qualification round. So, Hoffman's been winning in straight sets so far since he's been in Kitzbuhel. He did lose to Calvin Hemery in straights back in the qualification round back in Gstaad. I think that Neumayer may actually get this done. Don't know the kid too well, but he's got a better record on the challenger level. More reps is what I look at that as. And better reps, honestly. I think at the very least, the little kid can get a set. Which is plus, no. Minus 154 for him to get a set. Or maybe even covering a spread. Maybe like 5.5 as a parlay piece for something. I'll keep it pushing though. We don't have a lot of time, so Next, we have Arthur Cazaux going against Ignacio Buse. And these guys have played each other just a few weeks ago. Back in, what was that? Was that Wimbledon? Cazaux beat him in 3 sets. The second set went to a tiebreak between them. I think it's going to be a bit of a different ball game on the clay. What do we think, friends? Cazaux is 4-4. Ignacio is 25-13 this season. He's got a 10% winning percentage over Cazaux. I like Buse money line. I know it sounds fucked up because Cazaux did make it to the semis until he got to Bublik. I don't know. And he did beat Basilashvili and Etcheverry and Kim all in 3 sets. I like Ignacio Buse getting it done, though. I liked how he played in Gstaad. I was not mad at it. He went down valiantly against Juan Manuel Cerundolo. All right, next we have Sebastian Ofner going against Jean-Leonard Struff. And it looks like these guys are almost even, just like the last match was. Ignacio and Cazaux are even money. Both of them were, so. Ofner and Struff, though. The favorite is Ofner, somehow. They do have head-to-head history. It is 2-1 Ofner. 1 in 4 sets in Roland Garros earlier this year. So that's kind of why he's probably the favorite. His form has been pretty decent, but I've been seeing a decline. He's 16-9 on the clay this season, and Struff is 3-7. So, yeah, the Ofner money line. On to the next one. Jaime Faria going against Thiago Tirante. All right. Looks like Thiago is the favorite at -190. They played each other once before, last year in Bostad. So just about a week prior from a year ago. Thiago won in 3 sets. 3-6, 6-1, 6-4. They're about 11 ranks apart. I don't know here. I would favor Faria, honestly. I would favor Faria, but he hasn't had enough reps yet, so I can see why they take Thiago here. I would take someone for a set before I take someone for a money line in this match, just because it doesn't seem outright too sure. They've both done that at the very least in their last matches, is get a set and drop a set. So maybe going to 3 is the play you pick, but up to you. All right, then we have Misolic going against Etcheverry. This is their first head-to-head. They're about 40 ranks apart. Etcheverry seemingly has been having a rough patch in his game right now. Losing to Cazaux, as we said earlier. Luka Pavlovic, Jack Jones, Tista Agu, Hachinov. 5-game losing streak. Going against Misolic, who has not been losing much recently. So, a bit too volatile to take the outright game money line on Misolic, I think. I think it could be a bit safe, but I don't think it's fully safe. I think it's a bit more safe to take him for a set. It's -350. And I think that's pretty solid. And I wouldn't go for like a spread or anything here, honestly, because I don't know who's going to start beating who out of nowhere. And how many games it is. Like, this could be a short, quick match or a long, drawn out. It could be anything. Next, or last, we have Seyboth Wild going against Justin Engel, that young 17-year-old German kid that's been getting some attention. This will be their first head-to-head, obviously. And we have Engel, who is 11-12 on the clay so far this season. He's 57% win percentage, going against 12-12 Seyboth Wild, who's got a 58% win percentage. He's been popping from challenger to ATP level stuff. Seemingly got to the finals in the challenger. Coming back from Wimbledon. Looks like he was doing pretty good. Then he went against a kid. What is that? Budkov Kayer or whatever? Nikolai Budkov Kayer? I think that was a younger person as well. He's 18 years old from Norway, yeah. So now he's going against someone that has I'm pretty sure, a bigger reputation. Not as big on the clay as he was looking on the grass in those first two matches he was having when he got to Stuttgart. I'd stay away from it. I'd stay away from this one. I just find it a bit too hard to call on this one. And that wraps up everything we have going on there in Umag. Now, there's only 4 matches that we have going on. In Kitzbuhel. Now we're going to move on to ATP Umag. And in Umag, there's only 4 matches. But the 4 matches, 2 of them are first round, and the other 2 are second round. So we'll go to the 2 first rounds ones, and then get into the other 2 afterwards. So we have Dino Prizmic going against Elmer Moller. And this will be their first head-to-head. Dino is 21-4, 19 years old from Croatia. Playing in Croatia. Okay. And then we have Moller, who's 21-10. He's got a 70% win rate on the clay, and Prizmic has a 68.7. So close. He just came from losing in the final in San Marino and in the Milan Challenger, but he won. Was this in Bratislava? Looks like he won a challenger right before that in the finals in Zagreb, which is also in Croatia. He seemingly plays really well in Croatia. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, he did have Luka Van Asch give up in the final, tired 6-2 in the first set. But he's playing pretty well. He seems to be in good form. Moller seems to be in decent form too. He lost to Misolic. That's not a bad loss. That guy's been playing pretty well right now. So he's coming off of winning in IASI Challenger. He beat Droked, Wawrinka, and those are the only notable names I see there. But I like Prizmic to at least get a set. I don't know if, this might be a long match. I would go maybe over total games. It's probably it's at 21.5. Ooh. 22.5 is plus money. I'm not mad at that. I feel like these guys might go back and forth a bit. All right. So next we have in the first round, Jesper de Jong going against Millie. What was that guy's name? Jesper de Jong going against Millie. Poljicak. We got the Jong versus Poljicak, sorry. So this is their first head-to-head as well. As we know, the Jong just came from losing in the final to Jarry in 3 sets. And looks like Poljicak lost to Gigante in 3 sets in San Marino. He's been kind of on a stinker as well. It's looking like he's 20-14 on the clay so far this season, but I don't think that's going to do much of a dent on how well the Jong plays on the clay. I think that's his best surface so far. Yeah, he's incrementally getting better. He plays most of his matches on clay. He's a clay player. So I like the Jong to get this done pretty swiftly. He's a favorite, minus 220. But Poljicak could get a set. Could he get a set? Could he get a set? Every match he's been playing in since the first round in Milan Challenger, he's gotten a set even when he lost. So it's the valuable play, but maybe if you're looking for something a little bit more surefire, take the Jong money line. All right, jumping into the round 2 now. We have Ruiz going against Atmane. Pablo Ruiz and Terence Atmane. This will be their first head-to-head as well. Ruiz is ranked 537, 22 years old. He has not made it past... I take it back. Looks like he made it to past the first round. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Atmane. Atmane's been playing a bit hot and cold, but he's seemingly getting his bearings back. He dropped 2 sets, but took one from Camille Mifshuk, and then he beat Lajovic in straight sets recently in Umag. And then we have Ruiz. He's 12-8 so far on the clay. Atmane is 3-3. He's a 64% winner on the clay. Ruiz is. Granted, he's only been playing at the M25 level, so very low, ITF level. Trying to get his way into Umag. He's been playing really well. He beat Mifshuk in the first round in straight sets. That's a bit promising, honestly. I would say if you can beat Mifshuk, but Mifshuk's been kind of in a stinker. I think he's been trending downward. Maybe fatigue, who knows. But I like Ruiz, actually. Yeah. I like Ruiz to win. Or at the very least, get a set. Yeah. Him to get a set is decent money. Minus 175. And then last but not least, as we close things off in Umag, we have Francesco Passaro going against Camilo Carabelli. Carabelli versus Passaro. Last time they played each other was one time, and that was in the clay in 2022. Went to 3 sets. Not really much of a sample for us, as you know. But we have Passaro, who's going 20-10 on the clay so far with a 60% win rate. And Carabelli, who we've been seeing him play pretty well recently in Bostad. He's 25-13 with a 64% win rate. Now, if you ask me how I feel about the other people in this tournament, I think that they don't really stand a chance against Carabelli. I think that he had a really good shot at winning Bostad had it been for Jesper de Jong. And is de Jong in this one? He is in this one, but he's not dealing with him just yet. I think he gets to him again and goes through more turmoil. But up until then, I don't see why he wouldn't be winning on his way up there. Seemingly in decent form, made it to the semifinals. And then we got Passaro, who's will be lucky if he sees the third or quarterfinal round. As of recently, it hasn't been looking like such. Got to the second round in Bostad or in Gustad. Other than that, nothing too promising for me. As his 3-set win to Matej Dodig, who's ranked 242, 20-year-old. What a pretty good record, but I don't know. Stand away from that one. Stand away from that one. All right, now we're back to America. We have like 9 matches fucking left. Excuse me. Let's get into the first round continuum of DC. Starting with, I think we talked about Buse Ichikante, right? We already covered that in our last video. But we have Zachary Svajda going against Miomir Kecmanovic. And don't think they've played each other before, so let's check that out. Svajda has been playing so far on the hard courts in DC. He's been dealing with that heat. I take it that he can get a set off of Kecmanovic. I didn't see him practicing as well today, Kecmanovic, so the level of test he was tested to may be up in the air, if you feel what I'm saying. It's plus 200 for Zach to win, but he's been in that heat, man. That's the one thing about it. It's hot down there. Y'all not hearing me. It's not even hot. It's just humid. So you just can't breathe as much. So I like someone that's already playing down there to get a set and grind one out. Svajda's been playing great as well, right? Like he went 14-3 on the grass this season. He's a great grass player. And then coming back onto the hard courts, he is 8-11, but he's slowly chopping back on that winning record. He started this tournament being 6-11 on the hard courts, so he's turning it around slowly but surely. Other than his loss to Martin Fucsovic and Tristan Schoolkate and Coleman Wong, he has won every match since over the past month. And he's been playing a fuck ton of matches. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's lost 3 matches out of the past 20 he's played. If you think that some guy who hasn't hopped on the hard courts yet or hopped into DC, I don't know, man. You got him fucked up. I like Svajda getting it done here. That might be the pick I go with for today. Honestly. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. Next on the first round, we have Gael Monfils going against Webbing Yu. We thought this kid, or Yibing Wu, I'm sorry. I was rude. This is their first head-to-head. We took him, Wu, last week, and he couldn't do shit for us. I thought he was ready for it. We took him to go against Schoolkate, and he lost. That That was his only loss, except for Liam Draxel in the Carry Challenger a few weeks back, about 2 weeks back. But we got Gael Monfils. He lost to Fucsovic in Wimbledon in 5 sets. He played only 5 setters in Wimbledon. So, and then we have Wu, who beat Corentin Moutet in qualies, and then beat Mitchell Kruger in qualies. 3 sets for each one. Is Wu good enough to get a set off of Monfils? That's one thing he has been doing, is getting us a set. If he's not going to go out swinging and getting the win, he's going to at least get the set. Do we think that Gael? I mean, I was watching Gael in doubles with Nick today, and he wasn't looking all too sharp, is what I'll say. He may need another day of practice before he plays some singles. So we'll see how he's looking, but I like the idea of Wu maybe getting a set here. I think Gael Monfils will ultimately snap into form and do this guy in, but Wu getting a set is 165 minus 165. Something to look at. Let's see. Maybe it going over to 3 sets. It's plus 120. If you want to take the Gael money line, it's minus 240. I would leave it alone. Young Bull, Hungary, in the heat. He's Chinese. He knows what heat is like. He knows what humidity is like. Seemingly wasn't worried about it in Mexico. Doesn't seem to be too worried about it here. So we'll see how he does. The ranked 253, but 2 years ago he was in the top 50. See how he comes back this season. He's 14-3 on the hard court so far, going against Gael, who's 14-5. So we could see a 3-setter here. You know Gael loves to play long matches. Very rarely do we see him in a 2-setter. It's kind of been half and half as of last season, but let's see. Since March, he's only had 2 straight set matches. The rest, a set is given up. So I'll probably stay away from it. After what I saw visibly from Gael, I'm not putting money on him. Rooting for him, but I'm not putting money on him. All right, next we have Munar and Giron. I think we talked about that as well. And then we talked about Halis and Kovacevic, which we're waiting on to see how that turns out for us tomorrow. And that will cover just the first round completely in DC. Now let's move on to the second round matches, and then we can get up out of here so you guys can make your picks, all right? We got Ethan Quinn going against Brandon Nakashima. This is going to be a good one. This is their first head-to-head. They're 2 years apart. American. This is going to be a dog fight. They're 54 ranks apart. Nakashima being 32. Ethan Quinn being 86. Nakashima is 10-7 on the hard court so far this year. Quinn is 17-7. Made it look pretty convincing that he could get a set off of Nakashima, didn't it? After he beat Chris O'Connell in straights, I think we might be able to get a set off of him. Because Nakashima hasn't played on no hard courts yet. I didn't even see him there today. So I don't know if he was hitting today. And it was pretty hot the day before yesterday, I heard in DC, but it was hot today for sure. And I didn't see him. So one person I did see was Ethan Quinn playing, but he was playing when it was earlier and it was a bit colder, so the conditions were a bit more manageable. But the sun was still bright, so I mean, So let's see. I don't even see this on the board. Oh, okay. Nakashima's minus 240 to win. Ethan Quinn to get a set. It's around one. It's plus 100 something. I think it's possible he gets a set here. Rooting for both of the Americans here, so I'm not gonna have an official pick for that one, obviously. So we can move on. Then we got Cam Norrie going against Musetti. If I can find the match. All right, here we go. Both of these guys have actually. I take that back. Both these guys have been playing well. Not too well. But they've been playing well. We haven't seen Musetti since Roland Garros, but he retired in the fourth set to Alcaraz, and it was just looking bad. He got big in the third set, and it was 0-2 in the fourth, and he just let it go. He had to retire the match. Then he lost in 4 sets in Wimbledon. So he went from one major to the next, and he lost in both of them. So now we're seeing him back on, first time, on the hard courts. Cam Norrie has already shown he has some grit in DC. He's gotten his win in straight sets against Billy Harris. Mildly convincingly, honest, if I'm being honest with you. Cam Norrie will be looking good. Cam Norrie be looking good nowadays. They have 2 matches in their head-to-head history. Musetti is a top 10 player, so him going against Norrie, they've only been playing on the clay, but the last time they played each other was 2 years ago. And they were straight set wins in Roland Garros and a 3-set win in Barcelona from Musetti. Spent some time. It's a new condition on the hard courts. I think it's something to take into account. So be a bit weary there. I would leave this match alone. I don't even really care who wins. Best of luck to both of those gentlemen. Hopefully the one that fights harder wins. And then last 4 we got Alex Michelsen going against Daniel Evans. Funny story, the first person I met on the ATP tour in my life, like the first person, was Alex Michelsen. He was having a fucking like ball signing, and he was sitting at some table, and I was like, "Yo, bro, can I get a picture?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we got a picture with him, and I got a signed ball from him. Sick. So great stuff. Michelsen did not play today. He was training a bit though. He was hitting. He wasn't looking terrible. But Evans, I couldn't stick around to watch the match. It was so hot. So the fact that Daniel Evans sat there and played that match, and it was as long as fuck. It was 2.5 hours in the heat. Like no shade. That was a hard match to even sit in at 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Washington, D.C. So the fact that he fought that whole match, that was impressive. Against Zizou Bergs, that was impressive. That was impressive. That makes me a bit worried for Michelsen here. And a bit more of a experienced player. He might not be ranked where he once was, but he was in the top 20, which is higher than where Michelsen is now. So the experience could still be there to beat him. Michelsen isn't the best, like, biggest athlete for his age either, right? Like, just freaks of nature. Like Arthur Feast, who he's even mentioned, is like more athletic than him. He's 10-7 on the hard courts. Evans is 3-4. But he beat Zizou Bergs in 3 sets. That says a lot to me. I think that he gets a set off of Michelsen. But I would stay away from that match too, just because I haven't seen Michelsen play. We haven't seen him play on the hard courts yet, like for sure. And like be stuck out there to do it. So next we have Gabriel Diallo going against Fabian Marjan. And honestly, I didn't know that Diallo was even here. I would have been looking for him. I would have been looking to see how he was out here looking in the heat. His last loss was against Taylor Fritz in the 5-setter in Wimbledon. And Marjan just beat the bricks off of Ben Bonzi in DC. I saw like a little bit of the match. I didn't even really know the match was over. He walked by me whole time, and a bunch of kids started chasing after him, asking for autographs. And I was like, "Who is that?" And they were like, "That's Fabian Marjan. He just won his second set in like 35 minutes or some shit like that." It was super quick. So, cool, right? He's played on the hard courts. He looked pretty good. Obviously, it took him a second to adjust. He won the first set 7-5. So once he got his bearings, he seemed to be good to go. He is going against Diallo, who did beat him in straight sets in the Davis Cup earlier this year. And indoor hard courts, so the conditions were a bit more controlled. Diallo does have a winning record on the hard courts this season, better than Marjan, but he's also ranked better. But I would stay away from betting on people that have not touched the surface yet in months. As I say it in every video in the past few weeks, because we keep jumping from clay to grass to grass to clay to hard to clay. Like we're gonna adjust, and when we lock in on the hard courts, just be like, thank God we're here, right? We'll throw a party. Tell me to throw a party, I'll throw a party. All right, so I think Marjan should win because he's playing better, but he's not ranked better than Diallo, and Diallo has beaten him before on the hard courts. So, and also Marjan beat Ben Bonzi, who, I mean, Ben Bonzi's okay. He's 15-18 this season, so he's not the best anymore, if you ask me. But he's all right. So let's move on. We got 2 more left, okay? We got Ben Shelton going against Mac McDonald. Clearly, we have oh wow. Okay. Well, they played each other on the clay once before. Ben Shelton won in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4. Ben Shelton is ranked number 8 in the world now, going against Mac McDonald, who's ranked 95. I did get to watch the doubles match, a little bit of it. I started a little bit of it. On the car ride back home, I couldn't stay to watch it because otherwise I wouldn't be here, right? But they looked like they were there to have fun, and like from what I saw on the videos from like tennis TV, it looks like they were having fun. So it's hard to say if they're in form. I didn't see them hitting today in singles. That was the only thing I saw them doing was that they were going to be playing later. So I caught that as much as I could, at least, right? When I drive back. Yeah, Ben Shelton's last singles loss was Tirante Center. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Tionic Center. He was hitting some really good balls. Honestly, out of the two of them, he was looking better than Tiafo. So I do trust the fact that he can play on a court that is hard. But the other thing is, when I was leaving, temperature was dropping. So I don't know if he is going to adjust appropriately with the heat conditions. He is from Florida, so maybe he's used to the heat. But he played at a relatively cool temperature. Like it was like 78 when they played their doubles match. So for it to go from like 88 with humidity to like no humidity and 78, it's completely different conditions, completely different levels of comfort to play in. So Um, I'm still going to lean on Ben Shelton here. Honestly, I think Ben may be my favorite to win this whole thing. I think after what we saw in Wimbledon, I think he's just been looking really good. And the only person that was going to stop him was going to be Yannick Sinner to me. And maybe Alcaraz too. But they're not here. So I like Ben Shelton getting the dub here. He's minus 550 to win. So obviously, do what you must there. Take him for a parlay piece or don't take him. If you want, I think the spread form is probably at like 3.5, 5.5. They don't even show it. Let's see. Nope, nothing just yet. Oh. Yeah, nothing just yet. All right, well, last but not least, someone I did get to see glimpses of practicing with Medvedev. I got some photos of Medvedev and some photos of Holger Rune, who was his hitting partner. So we got Holger Rune going against who's this? Muller, Alex Muller. And these guys have played each other once before. It was 4 years ago. Rune won. It was on the clay. They're 30 ranks apart. Muller being 39, Rune being 9. Muller is 9-5 on the hard courts, and so is Holger Rune. Current record this season is 22-14 for Rune. Muller is 20-18. He's been up and down, up and down, up and down. Looks like oh, seemingly Rune comes back off of the grass and clay season, and he comes back pretty refreshed and good to go. He comes back and he wins the immediate matches after he has to come back onto the hard courts. So I like his chances against Muller. He's minus 250 to win. He wasn't practicing too long with Medvedev though, so maybe that might weigh a bit on how I feel, but ultimately I think it's all right. I think it should be all right. Now, I have work tomorrow. I'm so tired. But it was a great day. It was a sick day. I still like, holy shit, you could bet on sports and then go to the events off the money you made off betting on sports and then make YouTube videos about it. I'm so late. But betting just became legal where I'm at, like very, very, very short time ago. So can only do what I can, where I can, when I can, right? So anyway, we will carry on tomorrow. Let's get some more money. Let's hope that Kovacevic gets this win for us, and we can get a slam on the ticket. Make sure you check the pinned comment, and let me know what you guys are playing as well. And if you guys were in DC, let me know. Put in the comments. Take care.